That's my neighbor's house right there, about 4 meters away, and that's their kitchen window directly in line with mine. They're lovely people. I've met them plenty of times. Now, I just rather meet them and greet them in the morning at the back garden than through my kitchen window at 7:30 in the morning while I'm making coffee. And this is a solution. Privacy without turning the room into a cave. Perfect. Quick thing before we get into it. Kincmo sent this to me free of charge, but this is not a sponsored video. Now, with that out of the way, let's do it. Now, I already have external roller shutters on this window and they work. The problem is they are a binary thing. Either it's full daylight or full darkness, nothing in between. What I actually wanted was privacy without losing the daylight. That's an internal blind problem, not an external shutter problem. And there is one thing about installing this blind that doesn't appear anywhere in the marketing. So skip the step that I'm about to mention and you'll be standing on a stepladder swearing. We'll get to it. This is the Kincmo light filtering motorized roller shade, custom made to my needs. And the bit that matters for this channel, it runs matter over thread. The fabric I picked is 50% blackout, sheer in ivory white. Light comes through, line of sight does not. For me versus the neighbor situation here, it's exactly what I need. The motor runs on an internal lithium battery. Kincmo says 6 to 12 months between charges under normal use. And here's the bit that makes this the Apple Home Blind I'll never have to charge. There is a solar panel that trickle charges off the daylight already coming through the window. Now, it sits in a bright enough window and the battery stays topped up. You don't take it down ever. The battery sorts itself. Now, ordering this is more involved than buying a blind off a shelf. Kincmo's site is extremely customizable, almost aggressively so. Width and height down to the 1/8 of an inch, mount type, motor type, valance, bottom rod, motor side, roll direction, remote, solar panel. I mean, there are more decisions here than when I bought my damn car. Now, for my window, outside mount with drill, motor on the left, reverse roll, the standard cover valance in white, the square fabric wrapped in the bottom rod, and the 15-channel LCD wall mount remote because I wanted something to press that was not my phone. And it's actually really, really good. Unboxing. The blind turns out basically finished, fully assembled apart from the front cover, which clips on and finishes the install. Everything else is in the box. The brackets, screws, remote, solar panel, charging cable, and the instructions are weirdly excellent. There's 2 separate booklets, one for the install and one just for the matter pairing with QR codes for video tutorials for every single platform. It's excellent. Now, I reviewed a lot of smart home kit. Documentation this good, usually someone got fired for carrying too much. Must be. Now, the fabric feels properly made. The motor housing is one solid piece with no rattling, nothing. The remote feels like a proper product rather than just the usual afterthought plastic. It's excellent. Now, 2 things before you go near the wall. 1, the blind ships part charged, not full. There's a USB port on the end of the motor. Top it up before you install it, because if it dies mid-pairing, well, you'll be taking it back off the wall and you deserve it because I just told you so. So don't do it. Now, 2, the Meta QR code is printed on the motor signal cable and it's on the booklet as well. And Kincmo throws in 2 spare stickers on top. 4 copies of the same code you must not lose. Well, lose it anyway. Re-adding it, it's a faff. But they made it generally hard to do so. So if you do it, it's your fault. Don't be stupid. Don't do it. Now, fitting it. I drilled it. It's outside mount because of how my window sits. Took me about 20 minutes and it was over. On my own. The box suggests two people. Well, the box is being polite. You need a stepladder, a drill, and the sense not to drop the damn thing. So, no, just get someone to help you. It's easier. And here's the thing that I warned you. There's a signal cable coming off the motor. And every bone in your body says, tuck it away up inside the valance and keep it neat. Well, don't. That cable is doing a job. And that's the part of how the thread signal gets out. Hide it and you strangle the range. Worst part is it will still run off the remote. So you will sit there thinking, oh, grand, it's working. And meanwhile, Apple Home keeps dropping it. And you're up at midnight restarting a router. And your router did nothing wrong. Shame on you. Leave the cable hanging out. Ugly, but it works. Ugly wins. Joking, looks fine. Just tuck it in. But not all the way in, that leave it exposed a little bit. Doesn't hurt. One more thing that trips people, the travel limits, how far up and how far down it goes. These are set with a remote, not in Apple Home. And it slows itself just before each limit, so it's not slamming when it stops. Little detail, but it tells you somebody thought about the damn motor. Perfect. I like that feature. Now, pairing is one scan. Open the Home app, scan the meta code, and it comes in as a window covering. Name it, drop in a room, done. No Kincmo hub. No Kincmo app. Nothing extra plugged in at the back of your router, which already looks like a bloody plate of spaghetti anyway. So that's great. If you've got a HomePod Mini, or a Apple TV, you already got the one thing it needs. A thread or the router. And it's local. The blind and the home talk to each other on your network. Not off to some cloud, not through the server in another country that gets to decide whether your bloody blind feels like moving today. Which, if you already watch anything else in here, is a sort of the whole point. Met over Thread means that this is unlocked to Apple Home, or HomeKit as it was previously named. Runs Google Home, Alexa, or SmartThings as well. You can add the same physical blind to all of them at once. It's a meta feature called multi-admin. Now, pair it to your main platform first, then generate a sharing code from inside that app and use it to add the blind to the next one. And if you've got no thread border router at all, Kincmo sells their own little meta hub to bridge that gap. I didn't need it because I have got my Apple Home to handle it, so I'm fine. One honest caveat. Works with all of them is not works the same on all of them. Each platform does matter slightly differently. The blind will open and close everywhere. Anything past that, positions, schedules, scenes you set up per platform. Apple Home automations don't show up in Google Home, for example. They just don't. So I've had it up for 3 days now, which means I'm not going to tell you it's bomb-proof. I can't know that yet. And anyone reviewing a motor after 3 days and calling it reliable is having you on. What I can tell you is what's actually been doing. The solar panel that Kincmo gives you comes with a cable and leaves the mounting to you. For this window, I've stuck it to the inside of the glass with suction cups. The most elegant thing I've ever done? No. A permanent solution? Also no. And I'll be watching whether it slides down the window. The idea is to put it outside eventually. My external shutters go up at sunrise and only come down when it's dark. So the panel gets daylight all day. 3 days in, I gave it one charge before fitting and I haven't touched it since. It's still topped up, only with the sun. 3 days isn't a winter, mind. Ask me again in 6 months, but the early read is good. Very good. The motor is really quiet. Not silent, but if I had one of these on the bedroom window, I could run it at 6 in the morning and it wouldn't wake up the wife. Well, the sound wouldn't, but the light coming through would cause me some serious issues. So, yeah, well, that's how quiet it is. Over Thread, it's quick too. You tell it to shut, and it shuts. no pause while a cloud wakes up. And the remote, honestly, it's extremely well made. Proper quality, 15 channels, and it's what you actually use to set the travel limits. So you definitely need it. And it's not an afterthought. I mount it on the wall, and once the blind is in Apple Home, I barely touch it. And a schedule does the lot. The wife, though, well, she walks straight past the voice control and presses the button on the wall every single time. So the remote's earned its spot, just not for me. So, who's this for? If you're an Apple Home, you already got an HomePod or an Apple TV knocking about, and you want a blind that doesn't make you download another app and buy another hub just to do its job, then yeah, this is the easy pick. Pairs local, runs on thread, and the solar means that you don't need to charge it again. Forever. Kinda. Depends on the weather and the position. So you decide. Right, before you buy, this matters because it's easy to get wrong. When you order, you pick a motor. There's a standard motor. That one is not smart at all, just a remote. There's a standard motor plus a Meta hub, which does get you Apple Home, but through a hub. The exact box that I've told you this whole video that you don't need. And then there is the one you actually want, Meta over Thread motor. That's this one. No hub, straight into Apple Home, everything that I've shown you. It's a bit more than the standard one, and it's worth it every penny. Get that one. And for power, mine's the battery motor. That's the one the solar panel feeds. There's a hardwire version too, so if you rather to run it off the mains and forget about charging altogether, there's that one as well. Who shouldn't bother? Well, you need a thread border router in the house, a HomePod, a HomePod Mini, or a Apple Home. If you're already in the Apple Home, you will most certainly got one. But if you haven't, there's a cost the box doesn't warn you about. If your window barely gets any daylight, the solar panel is wasted on you. You'll be charging it off a cable like everything else, so half the appeal is gone. 3 days in, and it's earned its spot on the window. Ask me again in the winter, and I'll tell you if the solar panel holds. That's my honest verdict. This product is absolutely great. I mean, nothing failed. Everything worked perfectly. In these 3 days, I put it through the ringers. I mean, I tested thoroughly. I tried to deplete the battery. The solar panel just kept it topped up and down, stopped, asked it, open the blind 25%. He opens exactly 25%. I mean, in quarters I can see if it works fine. I mean, 12%, I can't tell you, but like 50%, 75%, 25%, it's spot on. This thing works absolutely amazing. It's magic. Quick one for the comments, because this properly splits people. Blinds on a schedule, or blinds you tell them to move when you actually want them to move. Me, I'm a schedule man. Go on, tell me I'm wrong. If this saved you a headache or stopped you from buying the wrong thing, then subscribe. That's the deal. I help you, you stick around. Well, if you didn't, fair enough, no hard feelings. And if you're into getting awkward kid into Apple Home, the stuff that Apple would officially let through the door, there's one on the right here. I shoved Zigbee devices into Apple Home with no Home Assistant anywhere near it. That's the rabbit hole this channel lives in. Go on, have a look.